Whatever this is, yeah, it seems to be in excellent condition for how old this thing is. New Holland, 1895. We need to Google that. Guys, welcome back to the farm. Hey, we are up in North Branch, Michigan. Dick Coulter's equipment. I want to take a look at a couple of these skid steers anyway. I thought I'd give you guys a tag along. We'll go through their lot and see what they've got. Bought some New Holland skid steers from them before, years back. These all look used. Pretty much case New Holland, stamped out at the same factory from what I understand. So there's probably not much difference in any of them. Got to line up a New Holland round balers we'll check out in a second, but we pretty much run John Deere. This is a New Holland dealership, but nonetheless we'll check everything out. Yeah, this is that cab machine. We never had a cab. They started putting this glass, see, this is a newer machine. They started putting these glass sliders in, and since they did that, we figured, you know what, we're not going to mess with the door, because you've got enclosed three sides of you, and when you mess with one of these doors and you got that boom not quite right, this door won't open. A lot of times they get broke, and hey, maybe someday I'll be eating my words and I'll get a cab and I'll say I wish I'd have done it a long time ago. Believe it or not, years back we had a New Holland baler and it was okay. Reason we switched was bales weren't getting tight enough. I'm sure they've since switched that. This is a specialty crop baler. This one here, this is a must have one of them. Must be able to, yeah, it's got a chopping knives in there. It looks like it can bale green wet. It can bale silage bales. That's a big old wide looking big old silage baler there. Yeah, ours was something like that. Well, no, that's a silage special too. Ours was just like a regular belt one. Moving on, there's a lot to see. So these are old New Holland roller bar rakes. Actually got that 258 one like that in the shed for backup. Roller bars here. Those bars hook two together, and you can rake two into one. We had that. We still have it. We kind of merged with it sometimes, but ever since I got that big Kuhn V rake, that's all I needed. These are some older balers. Might be good for parts or something. Or if someone wants a project skid steer, you could mess with them. I don't know. Got some small utility tractors. These tractors here, like my dad's special, he's a pro with these. He'll find one of these. I mean, this one looks like they've been sitting in the weeds a little bit, but these were like bulletproof. You put a good battery and replace the fuel, drain the fuel. These things will fire right up. It looks like 2 Massey's, 3 Massey's. Yep, we got one of these. Well, that's a Ford. There's 2 Fords here. Okay, beg my pardon, but we've got a Massey like that sitting at the farm. These make for a good homeowner, or if you're small enough, you could just rake hay with them. I'm sure a lot of guys used to do that, rake hay with them little tractors. Look at this. This is a hay merger. This is something we don't even have. There's 4 of them here. That looks like the newest one. You go up the windrow, goes up on a belt, and it flings it over. These are smaller ones, but I guess if we keep chopping 1, 2, 3, 4 cuttings, because you'll use them mainly in your 3rd and 4th cutting, and put them windrows together, because later in the year it gets thinner. More hay rakes here. What we used to do when we get a hay rake like this and we're trying to sell it, first thing you do, make sure you got air in the tires, check the teeth. You power wash all that moss off, and it just makes it look a heck of a lot better. Couple old New Holland square balers here. Older. This one might be in the 90s. John Deere. We actually had one like this. We had one like this even. String goes in here. Nothing in there. Knife. Moving on out to the corner lot. They got a nice looking backhoe here. New Holland. big one. Maybe not, well, about as big as what we got. They got a newer Massey Ferguson tractor. I wonder if they lock the doors in these things. Nice tractor. Buddy seat. I don't know much about Massey's, but that's a pretty new tractor. Front loader. If you ever get a tractor with a front loader, you'll like it, especially if you can do a quick tack on it. Yeah, this comes off. That 6420 we got, we take that loader off. Nice newer New Holland. We take that loader off in the summer. We got it on now for blading snow and pushing brush. There's a cool tractor. You got a Ford 5000 with a John Deere loader mounted on it. Hey, leave a comment. How many of you guys ever ran some equipment like that? Let me know if you see something that you used to have back in the day, one of them old Fords. Here's a 5420. It's kind of like my 5425, except I've got almost identical, except I got a canopy off it. Well, and this is front four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive and a loader, but mine was set up for loader. That's the joystick. Someone worked this old girl. Tires are bald. Yeah, you get them loaders on there. Sometimes you get a little carried away and get a little too close. You end up smashing your front grille. Heavy duty round bale wagon, dillerag.com. A little small for our bales, but that looks like a nice solid unit for a smaller farmer. Kilbro's 490. So that's probably 490 bushel that would hold. Ours is about double that. We'd like to go a little bit bigger, but that would get you going. If you look at this, this is an Ellis Chalmers Gleaner M3. This will be in pretty decent condition. I never even been up and seen one of these before. Holy Toledo, what do we got? We got steps to go up. Oh yeah, you got her cleaned right out. Looks good. Got a bigger one next to it. Oh yeah, Gleaner, man. No key. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe you guys leave a comment if you ever ran one of these. If you tilt steering, you know the year on it. Ellis Chalmers. So I learned something. Ellis Chalmers and Gleaners, one and the same. Agco. Shut that up. Look how low that auger is. Little stubby guy. There's a newer one, A76. That's a newer one. That's a big tire on there. Newer machine here. Yeah, it's got a monitor in there. It looks like the cab interior feeder house. Wonder what. The one thing I don't ever care about a dealership is they never put the price on anything. So you can walk around here. Get that off there. A bunch of bean stubble in there. You can walk around here, and it's like they want you to come. Be best if they had something stuck on the window of everything, anywhere, just a tag. You can have a tag number, but get a price. Because a lot of times guys will be like, "Well, there's not a price. I ain't got time. I'm gonna move on. They'll find something online." Just put a price on. Guys, these are the manure spreaders we use for forever. Dad had bought probably 4 or 5 different ones of these. See, this is yeah, this is got slats in it and a chain. Poly floor, so it's a newer one. It's probably one of the last models. It's not ours because we traded ours to Burn Ups, which is New Holland. But yeah, we used to use New Holland 195 spreaders. Now we went to them H&S Hydro Push. This is a bale accumulator. Hook that on the back of a square baler. Goes in the tube. Brand spanking new unit. Comes down and stacks all your bales for you. Norden Manufacturing. Heading over to the hay bind disc bind setup. This looks like a 13-foot disc bind 313. Ours are 316. They got, looks like they got her cleaned off decent. I found if you oil them, it's best. Ours look a lot newer because we really do wash them good and then we put them away. They don't sit out. But this is a newer machine. This is not a cheap disc bind, 13 foot. Like I said, you don't know what they're asking for them, but it's a Heston. We had a case hay bind. This is sickle bar. It looked just like this. Just like it. Sickle bar's got the knives that go across like suppose that's got turtles and blades on each one. A couple older gravity wagons that seen better days. Guys, found something I'm extremely familiar with. I got this same blower, except ours is about in mint condition in the barn. New Holland 28. That's for blowing in the silo. This was a gal. I had a gal like this. Isn't it a gal? Yeah. I had one just like this. Dad brought it home from auction. Again, stuff sitting outside. Not doing it any favors. It's a spring tooth drag. These actually are good for dragging the pasture field and stuff. This one's actually in decent shape. That's old. Maybe leave a comment, guys. You know how old those are. That was back in the day. A couple more gleaners sitting there. Now, what the heck is that? No, that's a combine. The size of that's like the size of our self-propelled chopper. Yeah, that's a combine. Yeah, that's about the size of our chopper. That's what our John Deere chopper kind of looks like. And down here, got a couple different tractors. This tractor here looks to be a solid unit. I think the back window's out of it. Even this one's missing the panels. Got a bunch of weeds. You know, something like this, they need to do. That's missing the door. That's what it is. Need to do. Get it running. Probably needs a battery. Oh yeah, look at that. Got oil, good black oil. Someone could use this thing. What you got to do is you get it running, get it out, fix some of that, get some pictures of it. I mean, look at that rubber, dude. That's brand new. BKT. Get it around front, take pictures of it, and get it online. I don't know if they got these tractors online, but that would be my advice to them. Fix that tire is low. That one needs a door. Little stuff like that. Even this little unit. This is what I need on my mixing tractor, chains. Anything stopped me from doing that. I got hung up once, is that I don't feel like rucking up the cement stuff, so. And any of you guys can tell me what the heck this thing is. Got an engine in the back. Wow. Whatever it is, guys, it's insane. This might be a chopper. Yeah, it's a chopper. Whatever this is, yeah, it seems to be in excellent condition for how old this thing is. New Holland, 1895. We need to Google that and figure out how old that is. Got a mower slapped in it sideways. But look at the tires on the back. 4-wheel drive. Some hoses hanging, but kind of cool little rig. I mean, someone was using it because that's a tank for inoculant. All the glass in it. That might be in a museum someday. Bunch of grain heads lined up here. Corn head. I'm assuming for Gleaner combines. Yeah, it says Alice Chalmers on the side of that. So Alice Chalmers and Gleaner must be one and the same. Make our way up and get ready to head out. Look at this, guys. This is a Henke hay grinder. Come equipped with a, well, it's not in the green, so that's no good. Comes equipped with a fire extinguisher for chopping up bales of hay or straw. And you turn this, that's on a cylinder. It'll come on here and blow it and whoop. We actually had a grinder. What the heck do we have? What's the hay buster? Since then, we just been dropping the bales in the pens and just busting them up with a skid steer fork. Just got rid of using another piece of equipment, and then also just fuel and PTO power, where we're just using the skid steer now, so it's a lot simpler. Back up where we started. So basically anything here we could use, if we'd have to price a new skid steer with them, you could do that. And then them hay mergers, there's two things here that we could be interested in. Let's get in the truck and head up real quick on our way out. I'm going to look at some of that tillage equipment. It's one thing I didn't take a look at yet. You never know what you're gonna find walking through a dealership lot like this. Some of this stuff, you know, as you start accumulating stuff that, you know, you may forget what you even have. So if you ever break something, you might need a spare part. But this is just the first equipment dealership I'm going to. I'm gonna do a whole series on it this winter if I can find time. I know there's a couple up in Marlette that got a ton of equipment, and I'd take you along and check it out. What do we got here? A vertical tillage tool. Decent little section of iron. That's a newer rig there. It's not real wide. What is that? That's a McFarlane reel disc. Newer, and it's got some heavy duty cutters. These are like knives. And then rolling baskets. Well, then it's got the spikes and then the rolling baskets. It's like a one-pass tool type deal. Probably only 10, might be 20 foot. Look at the size of them disc blades. This thing hasn't been used much. Can always tell. Or they got rebuilt. Yeah, the back ones are not as big. Someone rebuilt that and then didn't use it much. This is Great Plains. Look at this. It's on an angle. I think this is one of them vertical tillage tools. Oh, they're all on their own little spindle. There's no shaft connecting them all. SD 2600. It's been sitting here a while. I gotta get that stuff off there. It's moss growing on dirt. Look at that. Yeah, I don't know what this is. That thing, you know, see, that's on a shaft. Leave a comment. You ever ran one like this? This is more our size. This is something we could use. That's big. That's 32, 34 foot, I'd say. Got some heavy duty tandem wheels. Wow. I wonder what this is. Something you could use on your manure ground, or is it for finishing, or is it... Look at all this. Yeah, this is a newer unit. Got an old John Deere disc here. Nice disc blades on it, really. See, this is the kind of stuff we started with. Dad would, he'd find stuff sitting here. It's like that cylinder's been replaced. That's a newer cylinder. Stuff like that. Newer scrapers, look at that. Someone's worked on this. That's a good disc. Yeah, they put a bunch of scrapers on it. Basically the same setup as our disc, our big 32 foot disc. That might be the same here, but ours looks a lot newer than that because it's shiny. This thing's, you know, it's set outside. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for you. There's oh, brilliant. My buddies use these on the muck. We don't use something like that. Leave a comment if you ever use one, but they look like they'd really work if you have some light soil, is what it's for. That's gonna do it, guys. I'm glad you joined me for a quick tour of Dick Coulter's equipment, North Branch, Michigan. Found skid steer, possible hay merger, and that big hunk of iron. I might do some research on it. But till next time, guys, stay safe. God bless.